Hey everyone, okay, so I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everybody before we move on to the Makeup in Motion tutorial. Obviously, as some of you hopefully will know, I released my first eyeshadow palette, and this is the Imperial Topaz palette. In case you haven't seen it, here it is. It is your everyday palette. It's incredibly easy and wearable. And I just want to kind of mention this is my brand and it's soul funded, but and it's going to remain a very small brand, there's no doubt about that, but I want to kind of address where this is going, because it's my fundamental belief that women want to look beautiful. They want to look their most beautiful. They don't want to look like somebody else. They don't want to transform into somebody else. It's my belief that you just want to look as beautiful as you possibly can. And this is what I'm trying to create with my cosmetic line, whether it's the lips or the eyes or the cheeks or the face, whatever it is that's coming next. In that I want to deliver pigments that work in real life, not just for a YouTube video. I don't want to create something where you dip your finger in it and it's just this intense pigment, but in real life it's hard to deal with. I want to create products that appeal to real people and to give real results, and not just something ridiculous for an over dramatic YouTube video. And I'm hoping that you understand that that's where I'm going with this. I just want to make you the most beautiful version of yourselves. When it comes to this palette, I just want to kind of address the black eyeshadow, because I think a lot of people can be quite frightened of the black, and you needn't be. It is the most important shade in this palette, or in any palette that you will buy, because you shouldn't have to go from palette to find a black. It's that important. Black eyeshadow can be used to tightline the eyes. The most important technique to opening the eyes and making them stand out. The blackest lashes with zero lid space removal. You will keep all your lid space. For those of us with small lids like myself, it maximizes every bit of lid space. You can do winged eyeliner with this. You can smoke out any single shade with this color. And what's even more important is that you're able to deepen any color in this palette with this. Now, because these are what I call true pigments, that means they're not this, you touch it and it's like, oh my God, look how much pigment there. These are buildable pigments. They're real life pigments. And that way, if you want to deepen a shade, you can apply the black first really lightly and it will go on lightly, and then apply any other color over it and it will deepen that, or vice versa. So no matter what your skin tone, you're able to deepen any of these eyeshadows. But for me, you're just able to smoke out eyeshadows to create that beautiful smoky look, and the tight line. It's so important. That's why it's fundamental in this palette. It really is. And in all palettes, it is the most fundamental shade. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using the matte shade, I'm going to be using the celestial shade, and I'm going to be using the black shade. And I'll be using one single brush and a sponge for this tutorial to blend things, to give you a different technique. Thank you for your support. It's been, as some of you know, the last 2 years have been the most horrific 2 years. To have all my money and savings just be taken from me by people who were supposed to have my best interest at heart, and to have them, it's just been the most awful year. So to be releasing products that I believe in and to finally be able to get them out after all this time, it is such a joy. So thank you all for your support. Thank you. Link is in the description bar, and let's get on with the tutorial. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, okay, so this is Makeup in Motion. What I'm doing here is speeding the whole process up for you, just for a bit of shits and giggles. So first thing I'm going to do is apply a coat of mascara, and I like to just do that first. It frames the eye. I'm now going to color the face, and I'm going to be blending with one single sponge for the entire tutorial, including the eye. I like to highlight and add a bit of depth, then I go in with my own foundation color, and I tend to blend this in. I use all creams, and these are from my line, so you're seeing a little sneak preview before they're even released. I'm just blending things in. I like things to be, I like to keep going over, and you'll see throughout this tutorial, I go over and over things with my sponge. And as you can see, I've also had a haircut, hurrah! So tiny bit of lipstick popped onto the cheek and nose and forehead for color. Then I'm going to kind of set everything with a bit of powder just to mattify and keep things in place. Now when we move on to the eye tutorial, you'll see that I'm going to use one brush and that same sponge. And that's really important. Apologies, I've just received a text. Hurrah! But not from somebody nice. Pity. Okay, so time for the eyeshadow. All I'm going to do is draw it. I'm going to start with my kohl pencil, and I'm using 2 shades from my palette. So I'm going into the waterline, then I'm using the black on the upper waterline because I love a kohl's eye. I just think it's so sexy. So I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to blend this kohl all over the eyelid. This is going to act as a base and just extend it out a fraction. Then I'm going to dip into my eyeshadow palette and I'm going to draw on the kind of eye I think would suit me best. So I'm just going to go into the socket, go above the socket, and I'm going to extend it out. You can see it's gone out way past where it should, and I'm going to go up even higher than this as well. There has to be an element of no fear when you're doing makeup because you can blend, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm sharpening up the outside edges and softening the lower lid, and I'm blending that all over the lid. And you can see that I'm taking what's left on my sponge, which is a foundation, and I'm able to blend color into my foundation so that the color is blending into my skin tone. And that's why it's foolproof. And once you start to practice this technique, you'll realize how beautiful and simple it is and how it takes the fear out of makeup and making mistakes. Tiny bit of black on the outside corners just to sexify it up. Celestial shade over the lid because why not? Then I'm going to apply a tiny bit more color, lipstick, blend that in with a sponge, probably going to set it again a little bit, and that will pretty much complete the look. Touch of highlighter. But I want you to just see that it's taking the fear out of makeup by knowing that you can blend anything. That's the key. If you can blend it, you can fix it. And that's how I like to approach things with makeup. Very simple, but quite effective and gives you standout looks. Here's the finished look. Really hope you like it, and I hope you've had a bit of fun and learned something. Thank you so much for watching and for your time and your support. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.